This is Shelley Kraft coming to you live on SNNLive. We're at the FireRock conference in New York City 2014. I have with me Mr. Brian Altounian of WOWIO. It's a publicly traded company and the symbol is WWIO. WowWee. Welcome to SNN.
Thank you, Shelley. Thanks for having me on.
So let's get right into it. Give the audience an overview on WOWIO.
Sure. WOWIO is a digital media and technology development company. We're focused at the moment in the ebook space. We've got a proprietary patent that allows us to insert ads into ebooks, and we're going to grow that business obviously into other areas of digital media. But right now, the ebook space is prime for growth, for opportunity, for a disruptive technology and a disruptive player, and we believe that WOWIO is going to be that player.
How do you do it without appearing to be interfering to get pushback from the people who are reading it, who may be paying for that book to read?
Well, it's interesting. So there's a couple of answers to that question. The reality is, with the ad component in the book, the goal is that the books are given away for free. So free content in the digital space, that's really what all consumers are used to now. But really the answer to the question is, if you thought a few years ago, if somebody said to you, we're going to put an ad in your inbox, in your email inbox, you would have been outraged. Yet if you have a Gmail account, you see advertising in your inbox all the time, and you're not miffed by it because basically it's a free service. So the idea here is that, again, all content that's delivered on the digital platform has some form of advertising. There's a transactional model, there's a subscription model, and then there's an ad-supported model. So the reality is it's not really intended to be a disruptive technology. It'll be at the bottom of the margin, just like you see in video and in other forms of digital media now.
So, how sophisticated is your technology? I'll give you an example. I'm reading a book about World War II. What is there going to be an ad regarding, maybe something that would be deemed as conservative based on my profile?
Well, it's interesting because there is technology that would put an ad based on the content of the book. They call it contextual ads. But the reality is, and the key to our patent is really about delivering ads that's appropriate to the demographic profile of the reader. So honestly, if you and I are reading the same book, we should not be seeing the same ad unless our profiles overlap 100%. I'm going to see an ad that's relative to my experience. You'll see an ad that's relative to your experience, and that technology already exists. I don't have to create that technology. The ability to track your activity, not just what you're reading, but what you're doing online and in the digital space, that technology already exists. We can implement that technology, marry that with an advertiser, and deliver an ad that's appropriate to the end user.
Now, what statistical information can you grab onto for this interview that gives me an indication as to the growth of ebooks versus other books?
That's a great question. That's fantastic. Ebook sales right now represent about 30% of all book sales, and that market continues to grow. And the real key here is that mobile advertising is an area of real opportunity. So the idea of you and I actually reading a book online, we're probably a few years older than the target demographic.
Speak for yourself.
I'm just going to say maybe 1 or 2 years. But for the younger consumers who are consuming the content, they're consuming these when I say consuming their media, they're watching TV, they're playing games, they're reading books on mobile devices. And mobile advertising in particular is one of the largest growing sectors in the space. And in fact, in the next 5 years, by 2018, mobile advertising is projected to be about $95 billion. It is the largest growth sector in all of advertising across all media. So mobile advertising is the key space. Deliver a book on a mobile device with advertising. It's a huge, huge market. Between a $10 billion market for the ebook space in 2016 and a $95 billion market in digital advertising on mobile platforms, huge, huge opportunity.
So interestingly enough, I consider you a marketing company in general. How are you going to be marketing to your target advertisers or whoever wants to be on your platform? What methodology are you going to use to get your new customers?
Really, these are fantastic questions. You're basically prepping my entire presentation for today, so it's fantastic. First of all, we've just released an Android app. So we're releasing a storefront on all the mobile platforms, first with the Android, then with iOS, eventually with Microsoft Windows Mobile as well. And we're also we're developing a programmatic ad delivery system with ad networks. And so, again, the key is once we have the platform that the end user can access their content on and an ability to deliver ads via a programmatic ad delivery system, the market is going to drive forward. The consumer is going to drive it. The publishers are going to see their revenues can be driven, across a new paradigm, really, and that's really going to be our marketing effort. Honestly, I'm not going to have to do much but execute. And that's what we're doing now.
One more question, if I may.
Yeah.
In the world of disruptive technology, and you having a first mover advantage, what is the barrier to entry of the next company that comes along?
Well, we've got a patent that was issued in December of 2010 that's very strong and very broad. It allows for the demographic profiling of the reader and matching that profile with an advertising platform and delivering it on ebook. Pretty broad, pretty specific. We know that there's a tremendous value there. That patent has so far kept everybody out of the space. I hope that somebody infringes and is wildly successful, because that just makes our patent much more valuable.
Well, I think that you're going to, in my opinion, this isn't a question, but you can comment, I think you're going to end up having an enormous amount of strategic partnerships.
I absolutely agree, and that's actually our goal right now, is to implement strategic partnerships. Folks in the advertising industry, folks in the publishing industry. There's opportunity that's going to be a lot of synergistic companies that I think are going to be part of our growth initiative.
And your website is?
People can find us at www.studiowdigital.com. We're also on all social media. I'm kind of all over the place. So.
And it's WOWIO, folks. Remember the name, WOWIO. Brian Altounian, WOWIO. It's a publicly traded company, WWIO. So what's your website again?
It's www.studiowdigital.com.
Now, what's your background?
My background, boy, it's quite varied. I have a lot of entertainment industry background. I have a lot of public company experience, and this is a perfect meld of both of those interests.
Well, it's a very interesting interview, let me tell you. Brian Altounian again, WOWIO, WOWIO, publicly traded company, WWIO. I'm Shelley Kraft. This is SNNLive, and we're at the FireRock conference in New York City, 2014. So you had to come all the way to New York City for two guys to meet from Los Angeles.
That's right, exactly. Thanks for having me, Shelley. I really appreciate it.